Well, good morning. Time once again for Bobcat Central with our friend Ashley Washburn. Ashley, Game 3 is in the books for the Bobcats. You're back from Portland. Didn't turn out the way they wanted by any stretch of the imaginations, but there were some bright spots coming out of that loss to Oregon State. Let's talk about overall. Let's just talk about what happened last week.
Let's talk about what happened. Well, when you see the score, it might shock you a little bit, 68-28. 40-point margin is something we haven't seen in Bobcat football in a very long time. And giving up the 68 points is the third most since World War II. So definitely not the forte that Montana State likes to strive after, but not having a really running backs to work with, you can kind of see how that's affecting the game a little bit. But some positive takeaways. I feel like special teams is looking a little special. You had another kickoff return this time around, which was great to see. So now you have a punt return and kickoff return. And then I will say, I think the one positive takeaway is that Montana State's first drive of the game. It was great to see them march down the field. You're going to see a lot of that Tommy and Sean Chambers running the ball, and an impressor this week. Vegan made it very clear those are our top two rushers right now, and they're going to keep rushing the ball if that's going to be what's going to win them football games. Unfortunately, we didn't really see that going forward. They were having to be really creative with some of their plays that they were running. So it's great to see the creativity side, because that's what's going to get them through Big Sky play. And that was kind of the game to really be able to try things out this time around.
Yeah, you did put 28 points on against Pac-12 team.
You did,
I mean,
yeah.
You can't take that off the board.
Absolutely not. And I think Oregon State in recent years maybe hasn't been a team that you really give much credit to, but they're having a historical season already. I think 3-0 start for the first time since 2014, and I was reading a stat the other day between Oregon State and I think Washington State, a 3-0 start for the first time since the 80s for both of them, or something like together. So there's something special happening with Oregon State, and like we said last week, Jonathan Smith is doing a great job with that team. He's really turning a new leaf on that, and it was tough going to Pac-12 territory, and kind of the team that Montana State's getting ready to play this week, they had a very tough time going to Pac-12 territory as well in their Week 2 matchup playing at Oregon. So you could see the difference between the FCS and the FBS, but I definitely think that there was a lot to take away. And a positive, I definitely have to say, you didn't see them give up in that game.
Right.
They went out and they played every single snap 110%, and that's what you want to see.
Now, we're heading into Big Sky Conference play. You can't discount the three games. They exist and they live on forever and ever, but it's a new game in many ways as you head into Washington, playing in the Inferno on that ridiculous turf and all of that. What's this week, do you think, like for the Cats? Is they're working on those lessons coming out of Portland as you get ready to head into Cheney? Well,
beginning of this week, we were talking to Vegan obviously after Saturday, and we talked to him again on Monday at the pressers, and they're owning this loss. They are not backing down from it. They're owning the performance. They're owning the turnovers. They're owning every aspect of it, and he thinks that's the best next step in moving forward as they turn the page to Week 4. And they're learning from those mistakes, some of those mistakes being a little passive on defense. This is not a team that you can be passive on. Eastern Washington, their forte is throwing the ball. Obviously, they don't have Eric Berrier this year, but they replaced themselves with Gunnar Talkington, who is kind of a guy that they're trying to replicate, Eric Berrier. The first week he went out and had over 400 yards of total offense, won the Big Sky Player of the Week for his first time at the reins of Eastern Washington's offense, and they don't have a single rushing touchdown this year, and so you can't play passive on defense this time around. I think that's probably the biggest defensive aspect going into this game.
I think it's an interesting, you mentioned their loss to Oregon as well. There are some similarities in all of that. The one thing that you can't discount, though, is it's really tough to win there, and that maybe steps this game up a notch, doesn't it?
Very tough to win, and I know that there was a lot of negative of why are we going back to Eastern Washington back-to-back years, and it just comes back to home and away series, or playing, Eastern Washington is a team that Montana State's going to play every year, and just because of the scheduling, they had to play back at Eastern Washington. But there are positive takeaways of, they went there last year. Yes, they lost some talent, but they have great new talent, and so there's some familiarity that they feel like they've seen with this Eastern Washington team. And so they're ready to go in, and what better way to make a statement in the Big Sky than going into Cheney, Washington, playing on that red field and getting a win against Eastern Washington.
One of the things you and I have talked about for the last 3 weeks while we've been doing this is ball protection. If that changes this weekend, the outcome of every game you've played changes, doesn't it? I mean, that really was fairly significant against Oregon State, certainly will be significant against Eastern Washington. Ball protection, that might be the top of the list, I would think, of things to work on.
You are 100% correct. And, last week when we were talking to Vegan about the turnover margin and all of that, if you win the turnover margin, that wins you the game. Did they win the turnover margin against Oregon State? Not at all. If they did, maybe, it's a completely different ballpark and, you're being able to turn some of those turnovers into points. But if you go into Cheney, Washington, you win the turnover margin. And I just look back to last year, this is a team that really prides themselves in that, heading into week 4, I want to say they were already +5, +6, +7 on that turnover margin, and they're heading into week 4 -3, which is not something we normally see with Bobcat football. So I know that secondary, that entire defense has a lot to prove. They want to keep racking up those points, but same with the offense. There's definitely a lot that needs to be cleaned up. Tommy Malott knows that some of those turnovers were some miscommunications or maybe a couple of mistakes on his part, but we got to remember how young of a quarterback he is. I mean, he only played 4 games last year, and so there's going to be a lot of learning points that come along the way. But, you hope you see those steps being taken in Eastern Washington, and if you win that turnover battle, you're more than likely going to win that game.
You worked the last 3 weeks. Your work changes a little bit this week. You're going to be on
does.
the sideline. How excited are you for that? The team together and broadcasting right here on this channel?
I'm so excited. Yeah, you'll be able to watch it right here on this channel at 2 o'clock kickoff, which is going to be awesome. I'll be down on the sidelines. Ben Creighton will be up in the booth, and Ty Gregorak, which is a name Bobcat Nation is obviously very, very familiar with. He'll be up in the booth as well doing some color. We actually did some practice runs earlier this week, and it's just going to be such an awesome production, and we have such a great team as far as the producers and all of the photographers in the background. It's just going to be a great production, and can't wait to do it on that red field to kick it off.
I'm guessing you were not going to be wearing red.
No, I never thought I'd have to care that much about what I was actually wearing, but I'm like, neutral colors.
No, for sure.
We got to wear neutral on that red field.
That's fantastic. Again, Ashley Washburn joining us once again for Bobcat Central as the Cats get ready for a Big Sky Conference play coming up on Saturday, and our team gets ready for their first broadcast. Ashley, thanks.
Awesome. We'll see you next week.
Perfect. You're watching Montana This Morning. We're back right after this.